Chapter 15. Accidents are no accidents. Casual attitude leads to casualties. For want of a nail, a kingdom was lost. This is a story about how a kingdom saw its downfall by someone's sheer negligence. In the mid-15th century, King Richard was facing one of the toughest battles of his life. The king had a strong army and they were all prepared to defeat the enemy. He asked for his favorite horse to lead the troops. The blacksmith had shoed all the horses but ran out of iron to shoe the king's main horse. They had no time to wait as the enemy was advancing. Eventually, the blacksmith fixed the shoe but could not guarantee that it would hold without the complete set of nails. King Richard's horse was not prepared. The armies clashed, and in the thick of the battle, the king kept encouraging his troops. He galloped forward, but barely had he gone a little distance when his horse's shoe fell off. The horse stumbled, and King Richard was thrown to the ground. The frightened animal ran away, and the king was without a horse. His soldiers, unable to see their king, became demoralized and started running away too. Very soon he was captured and the battle was over. Only because of the want of a nail, history changed forever. Imagine the far-reaching impact of a nail. In the words of Benjamin Franklin, for want of a nail, a shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, a horse was lost. For want of a horse, a battle was lost. For want of a battle, a kingdom was lost. And all for the want of a horseshoe nail. The above is a true story with numerous questions and lessons. Who was accountable for the missing shoe nail? Obviously, it was not the horse. Was the king aware that his horse was not prepared? And if he was, why didn't he swap his horse with someone else's? Or was the king lied to believe that his horse was prepared? The question is, was he really prepared? If he was prepared, how come they did not have all the equipment and supplies? How come they did not have all the iron to shoe all the horses? All of this boils down to integrity, responsibility, accountability, ownership, and casual attitude. Somewhere the casualty took place because of someone's casual attitude. Was it only the blacksmith who messed up? What about his supervisor and all the supervisors above him? And what about the general? Finally, what about the king himself? This means that multiple people goofed up. Their casual and laid-back attitude had such a disastrous consequence. Had anyone in the chain of command done their job right, this consequence could have been avoided. The king's army was strong and they were almost prepared but lost. The two important lessons here are: almost prepared is not prepared. We are only as strong as our weakest link. Remember, almost is not good enough. Nobody at the Olympics gets a gold medal for 99% achievement. Almost done is not done. There is no such thing known as almost a century. Avoid casualty. Once a ticket checker got into a train and began inspecting tickets from passengers. When he saw the ticket of the first passenger, he discovered that the passenger had the wrong ticket. The checker said, "I'm sorry, sir, you have taken the wrong train. You will have to change at the next station." Then he went further. He collected some more tickets and found that each of the passengers were carrying the wrong tickets. He was surprised to see so many people making the same mistake, until he realized the truth that he himself was on the wrong train. He was checking everybody's tickets, not realizing that he hadn't checked if he was on the right train. Don't we face similar situations in life when we realize that it isn't life that has created the problem, but that we ourselves are looking at life through the wrong end of the telescope. We are the problem. Before looking for answers, we need to ascertain that we have the right questions. The greatest ignorance is when one is not aware of one's ignorance. Duty before ritual. Once a group of tourists was going on a vacation to a mountain top. At the foothills, when everybody got into the bus, the tourists noticed that the driver went to the front of the bus and with folded hands prayed for a few minutes. Thereafter, they started the climb uphill. Less than halfway through, the engine started overheating, so the driver had to stop the bus. When he checked, he found that there was no water in the radiator. They got the situation rectified and started the journey onwards. Just a little distance later, the bus again stopped right in the middle of the road. This time, it was because it ran out of fuel and the fuel tank was empty. Help came and the passengers were rescued. The driver had said his prayers but did not do what he was supposed to do. He had not checked the radiator, nor had he filled the tank with fuel. He did not do his due diligence. What good would his prayers do when he hadn't done all that he was supposed to do? The moral of the above story is duties and responsibilities cannot be replaced by rituals. God does not help those who don't help themselves. The ticket collector's example might sound a little exaggerated, but the bus driver's example is not fiction but a reality of life. The bus driver cannot claim ignorance. The only behavior he demonstrated is indifference. And what is indifference? It is a non-caring attitude. And what is a non-caring attitude? It is a casual attitude. A casual attitude always leads to casualty. Casualties can be caused due to multiple reasons. However, the major cause is indifference and apathy. Once a lady took her 3-year-old daughter to a doctor with severe pain in her ear. The doctor diagnosed an ear infection and realizing that the little girl would find it difficult to swallow pills, prescribed a syrup in a bottle with a dropper to the mother and said, "Please give 10 drops 5 times a day." The mother understood and said, "Okay," and went away satisfied. 2 days later, the girl was rushed to the emergency. The doctor who gave the prescription was called for consultation. The doctor asked the mother if she had given 10 drops 5 times a day as prescribed. The mother said, "Yes." The doctor asked, "How did you give it?" The mother said, "I gave 10 drops 5 times a day in the ear." The doctor was shocked to hear this and said, "I gave you the drops to be used orally only because I realized that the girl would have a problem swallowing pills." Look at the miscommunication in this real life situation. Who is at fault? Who ought to be responsible for this casualty? Obviously, the above is a clear case of miscommunication. What caused the miscommunication? It was the casual attitude of both the doctor and the mother, who did not behave responsibly to clarify the instructions. Neither did the doctor instruct properly, nor did the mother question the instructions to clarify. A very clear case of casual attitude leading to casualty. Let us look at another example. A father, while going to work in the morning, noticed a bottle of medicine lying on the table with the cap open. The first thought that came to his mind was, "Why was the bottle open?" And the second was, "Let me shut it." But he looked at his watch and realized he was running late. Without addressing the situation, he left. His wife was also busy in the kitchen doing chores. A few hours later, he got a call from his wife that she has taken their son to the hospital and he is in a critical condition as he swallowed some of the pills. The father could and should have behaved responsibly by putting the medicine beyond the reach of the child, and if not that, then he should have informed his wife to do so on his way out of the home. But in this case, considering what was at stake, informing the wife was also not the right thing to do, as possibly it could have slipped out of her mind. He should have done it himself as a priority. This is another real life situation of casual attitude leading to casualty. In both the above cases, the negative consequences could have been avoided only if the attitude was correct and responsible. Acceptance of their responsibilities could have saved casualties from occurring. Ownership of responsibility is what the world needs. The following attitude leads to casualty. First, lack of concentration. Absent-mindedness or thinking of home while at work and work while at home destroys proper actions on both the sides. Second, failing to follow safety procedures. Casual attitude about safety procedures can lead to casualty. Ignoring safety procedures is a bad attitude. This is not innocence, it is indifference. For instance, people don't wear safety belts in the car. Third, ignoring or incomplete instructions. Haven't we seen a person in our office being asked to do a task but given only incomplete instructions? Such behavior only compromises safety and output. The receiver should always ask and clarify instructions. It is not foolish to ask questions. It is always foolish to start a task without instructions. Complacence or overconfidence. Confidence leads to good output. Overconfidence leads to bad outcome. 5. Being disorganized and unplanned. Not thinking through a process can create major challenges. Starting something in haste without proper planning could lead to negative consequences. Hence, effective planning is a smart way to safety. 6. Not taking pride in performance. Pride in performance results in good performance and safety. It avoids all kinds of hazards. It sets standards for a good environment. If you want to achieve more, don't let casual attitude lead to casualties.